What if I told you that you can create full anime scenes like this using AI, even if you have zero drawing skills? And not just images, this is still possible with free AI tools in 2026, but probably not for long. Most of it can be done with free or almost free tools. In this video, I'm going to show you my complete workflow, step by step, from idea to character creation to animation. I'm not a professional studio. My two daughters and I started this just for fun not long ago. And since then, it became a creative experiment where we test different AI tools together. Before we start, I need to be honest with you. This is not a one-click AI magic workflow. It takes time, it takes testing, and most importantly, patience. You can absolutely create amazing results with free tools, but you cannot expect instant perfection. What AI gives you is speed and variation, but you still need to guide it. Think of yourself not as an artist drawing, but as a director building scenes. In less than 10 minutes, you will see how we create entire anime-style scenes, and you can do it too. So let's dive in now. Step 1, idea creation with LLM. Everything starts with an idea. I always begin with a large language model like ChatGPT, because at the beginning, your idea is usually too vague. For example, an anime about a demon king is not enough. So I use the LLM to refine it. I ask for character concept, personality traits, visual style, world building, and sometimes even factions or enemies. This step is extremely important because consistency in AI generation depends on how structured your idea is. For this project, we created an anime concept called Class Zero, a world where exorcists fight against corrupted entities and demon kings. Step 2, character design. Once the idea is clear, I generate the character design. This is what we call a character sheet. It defines face structure, clothing, color palette, and overall style consistency. I usually test the prompt across multiple platforms. First, I start with free tools like Meta AI, PixAI, SeaArt, Playground AI. The goal here is not perfection, it is exploration. You generate variations until something feels right. Then I sometimes use Midjourney. It is paid but very strong for consistency and detail, around $10 per month. And for some scenes, it gives much better results. Step 3, character variation. Once I have the base character, I create variations. For example, a demon form version of the same character. This is where Google Flow becomes useful. It allows me to reuse the same character reference and generate variations, and it is free for a limited number of images and videos per day. This step is crucial because in animation, you need consistency between forms: human, demon, transformation, states. Step 4, action scene first approach. Now I move to the most important part, the action scene, and I always start with action first. Not story, not dialogue, action. Why? Because action scenes are the hardest to generate correctly. They involve motion, composition, lighting, multiple characters, environment destruction. If you can make the action scene work, everything else becomes easier. In this case, I generated a demon king fighting exorcists in a destroyed city with a Shibuya-inspired atmosphere. and visual influence from Jujutsu Kaisen and Tokyo Ghoul. Step 5, iteration process. This is where most of the real work happens. Iteration, you rarely get a perfect result on the first try. So I constantly go back and forth. I adjust prompts in ChatGPT. I refine descriptions. I regenerate images. I test variations. Sometimes when I'm not sure how to describe a specific pose or action scene to the AI, I use a very simple trick. I go on Pinterest and I type something like anime action sketches or anime fight poses. From there, I get a lot of visual references, different angles, dynamic poses, impact frames, movement ideas. This helps me a lot because instead of trying to explain everything with words to the LLM, I can now use these references as guidance. I take a pose that I like and I describe it back to ChatGPT in a much more precise way. For example, instead of saying a character fighting, I can now say a low angle shot of a character jumping forward with a sword strike, cinematic impact frame, strong motion blur. And this makes a huge difference. Because AI understands structure much better when you give it clear visual references. So basically, Pinterest becomes my visual library for poses, camera angles, and action composition. Another important thing to keep in mind when creating your scenes is to only include what actually needs to be in the frame. Because if you add too many unnecessary details in your prompt, the AI can easily get confused. And that often leads to unwanted objects appearing in the scene or results that don't match what you had in mind. So simplicity is actually very important here. You want to clearly define what must be in the scene and avoid adding things that don't serve the shot. Again, I'm not trying to waste your time with theory. I'm just sharing practical tips that my daughters and I learnt the hard way while testing these tools. For example, if I want a fight scene between a demon king and exorcists in a destroyed city, I will only describe the main characters, the environment destroyed city, and the core action fight scene. I will not add unnecessary details like random objects, extra characters, or unrelated background elements. Because the more you add, the more the AI starts improvising. So the goal is always the same. Keep it simple, keep it focused, and let the AI understand exactly what matters in the scene. Sometimes the AI gets composition wrong. For example, characters facing the wrong direction, bad spacing, or inconsistent lighting. When that happens, I either regenerate in Flow or manually fix it in Photoshop. This step is what makes the difference between amateur and cinematic results. This is actually the most frustrating part of the entire process because most of the time you don't get the exact scene or image you imagined on the first try. So you still need to step in, adjust things, and sometimes manually fix the composition. And honestly, for me, this is the part that takes the most time. Not even the generation itself, but the adjustments afterward. Step 6, video generation tests. Once the images are ready, I test them in video AI tools. I usually try multiple platforms. Dreamina, free daily credits. Google Flow, image to video conversion. Arena AI model comparison tool. Arena AI is especially useful because you can test the same prompt across multiple models and compare outputs side by side. This saves a lot of time. Of course, when you are using free AI tools, you also have to accept a limitation. You cannot expect the same level of control or precision as someone using paid professional tools or full studio pipelines. That's just part of the process. And that's why this video is really meant for people who are patient, people who don't get frustrated easily, and who are not expecting to become the next Mapper studio overnight. Because this is not about perfection. It's about experimenting, learning, and slowly building something creative with the tools you have. Step 7, final animation tools. And finally, I test Vidu AI. Right now, with Sora not available publicly, Vidu is one of the strongest alternatives for anime-style animation. It gives smooth motion, cinematic camera movement, better physics than most free tools. And you still get free generations to test it. So this is my full workflow, from idea to character creation to animation. It is not a single tool. It is a system, a pipeline of different AI tools working together. And here are the final results I got using this workflow.
Long before the world you know, there was a being who chose to live as a man. He had no name, no throne, no destiny. He loved and became human, and for that, he was punished. They came for him, not as heroes, but out of fear. They killed the one person who made him human, and in that moment, something broke. Not his body, his restraint. The man disappeared, and what remained was something far older, a king without a name, a force the world was never meant to face. They could not kill him, so they sealed him, buried him beyond reality, in a prison built between worlds. But a prison alone was not enough. So, they created Class Zero, hidden in every high school, outside of time, invisible to the living. Each Class Zero is a fragment of the seal. Each student, a piece of the system holding him back. They believe they are training to return to the world. They believe they are competing for a second chance. But the truth is far darker. They are not being saved. They are the last line of defense. Because if the seal breaks, if every Class Zero falls, then the one they buried will rise again, the nameless king.
I will kill them all, I swear!
The first trailer of Class Zero will drop soon, so subscribe if you want to watch it. And if I can help you understand more with the little knowledge that I have, I will do it with pleasure.